right, welcome to another spontaneous and short episode of the Cold Feet Podcast. Today I'm joined by one of my clients whose name is
Yosef Strauss.
And Yosef, why don't you tell us about what's going on in your life these past since last night and for the next few days?
Yeah, so I originally started this idea to do this challenge presented by David Goggins. It's 4x4 by 48, which is 4 miles every 4 hours, 48 hours, which is a total of 48 miles in 48 hours. So I think the challenge of this is just having to get up every 4 hours to run or do something. The reason I wanted to do this is just I feel like for myself in general, I get like complacent in life, and to break that complacency sometimes, it takes like a big challenge to like kind of get you into a hardworking mindset.
Okay, so just to clarify, so it's around like 2 full marathons or even a bit more?
No, just under 2 full marathons.
Just under 2 full marathons in the course of 48 hours. Dude, that's
right.
Respect. Peace out.
Thank you.
What we're doing now is while we're in the ice bath is that cold exposure and ice bathing is actually very, very beneficial for endurance athletes. And while it is beneficial for strength athletes as well, it can have a hypertrophy blunting effect, which means that it can slow down muscle growth, which is not good for strength athletes. But since he's doing mostly running, we just now got off a good, mobility and breathwork session because we don't want to overload him so much in between these next strenuous few days. Ice bathing is great. And this leads me to ask you, Yosef, how come you chose this method and not like the other million thousand feats of endurance or strength or athleticism or mental things that you can do?
Honestly, I think it's a good question. I think that I chose this challenge specifically because, first off, I've never actually perfect. I need this for some
moral
motivation.
support.
Yeah. I think that I've never done a challenge where it's been, it's over 48 hours. Where it's been that long of a challenge, and that's what intrigues me. It's exciting. It's exciting for me. So I think that's why I'm doing this one.
It's funny because like the pro and con of the weight room, and like you can speak about the powerlifting stigma, is that you go in like you get all hyped, you get all pumped, you take your pre-workout and you do 1 rep and then you get like a 7-minute break. So while like lifting 3,000 kilo is not permanently easy, well 3,000 kilo, hopefully one day we'll get there, but you 1 rep and you're done.
Right.
Or 5 reps and you're done. Or even 10 reps and you're done. Whereas running or endurance sports or like repetitive multi-day runs, that's a whole different ballgame. That's a whole different like mental capacity. And that leads me to ask my next question, which is, what in God's name, what in the world drives people to seek out David Goggins challenges, ultra marathons, desert marathons, CrossFit competitions, even like tackle football games,
right,
where you like can go home with a broken rib? What drives people to seek out that thrill and that adventure of sitting in an ice bath?
Like pain.
Why in the world do people, we live in an age of convenience where you can sit your entire life on the couch. Your Amazon fridge will automatically renew the foods you need. You can get online shopping, online groceries. You can sit in your couch and work from your computer. Why do people even push their comfort zone that much?
Yeah, I think that everybody has their own reasons, but I think for myself, it's just that, and this has been true like throughout my life, is that if I'm not going up, I'm going down. And so I don't believe in a middle ground. So I think that people have to push themselves. You have to be uncomfortable in order to excel, and to find that calm, you have to go through the pain. I mean, it's kind of deep, but I think that if you're always just finding the easy way out in life, eventually it's gonna be painful in the long run, versus going through that pain, going through that struggle now, like whatever it is in life. It doesn't have to be physical. It can be, just like academic or whatever. Then you will find true
serenity.
Peace.
Wait, so you're saying that the fact that you're willing to put yourself through this 48-hour mental resilience, and the fact that you're an endurance runner, you're doing marathons, running, you feel that has a greater carryover to everything else you do in life?
For sure, exactly.
Interesting.
That's why I do it, honestly.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I really relate to that. In fact, I think the reason why most people and like the modern day entrepreneur does weightlift or does do triathlons is because they're not just seeking the thrill.
be good.
If there's a mic here, you'd hear every time you move the water. They're not just seeking the thrill, but they're actually looking for the carryover. It's hard to squat. It's hard to run. Not only does it take intrinsic motivation, but it takes strength and energy to lift 100 kilo off the floor, or run a marathon, or do anything, or hop on a bike. And by doing that, you're constantly like telling your mind, as you said, it's okay. Like you can pass your mental barrier, and then when you work, when you're in relationships, and you're in friendship, you're starting like, hey, it's not that bad. Okay, so I'm going a little bit towards my girlfriend or wife or boyfriend or dog. Okay, so I'll leave my comfort zone a bit for them. My theory as to why people leave their comfort zone has more to do with, if we look at our primal ancestral roots, and like without getting all caveman, let's look like 1,000 years ago, before like electricity existed and before comfort existed, before couches existed. Tarzan would leave his cave, maybe beat his chest a bit, get ready for the hunt,
All right.
and then he'd hunt for the lion all day. And then not only would he go on an extreme 10-hour run with probably, weighted down by his equipment, have jumping and climbing and moving and rotating and whatever it is, but he would either come home with the lion, which gave this huge dopamine rush of, oh, I got the lion, or he wouldn't come home with that lion rush. I think our hormones are programmed, and our ancestral DNA is programmed to hunt down the lion. And because we no longer have the lion, we have to find metaphors for that lion in our life. And if that lion is completing the local Spartan race, or if that lion is completing the David Goggins challenge, or if that lion is, competing in your local tackle football game or a marathon or whatever, like you find that lion in, that's where like we need that dopamine, we need that feeling and sense of accomplishment in an extreme environment. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think that's really true, and I definitely agree with that. I think that also, like, furthering that, it's like, as you complete a marathon, or as you can, you get better at tackle football or whatever it is, you're always trying to like continue that challenge. Because once a marathon becomes easy, then it's like, all right, like now it's easy, and now I'm not trying. It's not a challenge anymore. So like then the next step is either a faster marathon or a longer distance.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's like the next. Like man is always trying to
Accomplish.
Yeah, to accomplish its challenges.
I think it's really like what keeps people getting out of bed in the morning. At least for me, I'm like this fiery, passionate human. Is I want to accomplish. I want to go to sleep every night knowing I accomplish things, and whether I'm accomplishing things like physically, monetarily, spiritually, physically, I don't care. But I want to accomplish, and these races and these runs and all these challenges are getting you into that mindset of like, I'm hungry, I want more, I want better. And as I said before, that carries over to the rest of your life very much. So Yosef now, he did his first 4-mile run. He has another 44 hours.
Another 44 hours, yeah.
44 hours of 4-mile races, and it's a privilege to work with him. And we're kind of, in these sessions we're doing over the next few days, it's not going to be anything strenuous or power stuff. We're just trying to maximize recovery, mobility, movement to help him recover between days. Also focusing on nutrition, making sure that he's, eating adequate, getting enough essential amino acids, and yeah, that's it. Any last words of motivation and inspiration to the camera after this good 10-minute soak you have?
Just keep running.
Just keep running. Run, Forrest, run. All right, that's all for today. Thanks so much for tuning in to a short of the Cold Feet Podcast. Jesse and Sean out.